Welcome to Man That's Cooking. In this video, we're going to show you how to make turkey carcass soup. Yes! Love the smell of carcass in the morning. So obviously, this is a great recipe after the holidays if you've got a turkey carcass. Or if you don't, maybe you can borrow one from a friend. And the first steps here is to make a broth, and we're just going to rough cut some celery. You can use the parts with the leaves on it. Who cares? You're not going to be eating this part right here. So just a lot of rough cutting. You don't have to cut it down fine or anything right now. That step will come later. So the basic ingredients for this broth is about 3 or so celery stalks, 3 carrots, and 1 white onion. Next, we're going to add some optional items. We got some garlic. You don't have to mince it, just smash it and cut it up. And then we're going to add rosemary, thyme, and sage. Here's the turkey carcass. We're just going to break the backbone so we can fit it in the pot. Next, we've got a leftover wing. And if your turkey came with the neck, go ahead and add that beast in there. Next, we're going to put the veggies into the pot and then fill this pot with at least a gallon of water, maybe a little bit more. You want to just cover all the elements that are in the pot and then put it on high to boil it. Now it's time to prep the veggies for the actual soup itself. Now we're going to do a finer cut and pretty much the same deal. 3 celery stalks, 3 carrots, and a white onion. So as you can see here, there's no rough cutting going on here. We're getting some smaller slices because this is what you're going to eat. Now while you're doing this, keep an eye on the turkey carcass. You want to bring it to a boil and let it boil for 30 minutes. Then turn down the heat to about a medium-low so that it can simmer. So at that point, you want to put a lid on it and let it simmer for at least 2 hours. You can go longer if you want. You're not making bone broth here. This is just a regular broth. This is going to have some meat in it too. You could pick the cooked meat off first if you like. Obviously, we put a raw turkey neck in there, and that meat's going to get cooked during this process. So you do you know, if you want to pick the meat off the bones first, the pre-cooked meat, that's fine. Set it aside for later. If you want to make it a part of the soup, that just adds flavor to the soup itself. So somewhere the flavor is always there. So after the GoPro got a steam bath, we're going to go ahead and remove all the big chunks because we want this to cool down and we want to pick the meat off the bones, literally. And all these vegetables, they're pretty much used up. We did what we needed to do with them. We got the flavor extracted out of them. And we're just going to toss them. I mean, boy, it's terrible. Well, you know, maybe if you have a goat, you could feed it to your goat. So it's up to you if you want to use these flavorless vegetables. But what you should do is at least use the meat. And this is what we get. And we're going to let this cool down until it's cool enough to pick the meat from the bones. And here's the broth, and you can see that it's got some fat, it's got some stuff floating, and we're going to filter that out using some cheesecloth. If you don't have any cheesecloth, at least use a sieve like this green mesh sieve, and then you can filter out some of the stuff. If you don't have that, well, maybe you want to order that before you make this recipe. Alright, we're just going to toss this used up veggies because man here doesn't have a goat. And once the meat cools down, go ahead and pull the meat from the bones and put it into the pot. And this is the pot we're going to use to make the actual soup. Now you may start to get the idea that this is a lot of work. You are correct. We have a similar recipe, chicken carcass soup. And we've received a number of comments saying that's a lot of work. You are correct. It is a lot of work. Now that we've established reality, we're going to assemble this soup. All the recipe ingredients are in the details of this video and also on our website, manthat'scooking.com. And once you assemble the soup here, you want to put it back on the stovetop and let it simmer for 30 minutes. You want to cook it until the celery and the carrots get tender. And you may see this fat foaming on the top, and it's okay to just remove that. And then once everything's tender, go ahead and add some egg noodles, and you want to cook it for about 8 minutes or so at a simmer temperature there, which is about, I don't know, medium low. Corn flyover. Now tell me you didn't just save a lot of money on this $5–10 soup right here. I mean, come on. You already had a turkey carcass, or you borrowed one from your neighbor, and all you had to do is add some carrots, celery, and onion, and this bag of egg noodles. And if you're cool, you also had some fresh herbs. If you're not cool, well, then you save some money. Maybe you have your own fresh herbs in your own garden. Whatever. Look at this soup. So hey, thanks for watching this video. We hope you try this out at home and let us know in the comments section how it turns out. Check us out at manthat'scooking.com. Like us, subscribe to us. We're here for you, always.